We have been very familiar with this condition of the current thumbnail that you're currently seeing, as you're currently experiencing and expecting. And it has been among the social course for so many decades that this topic keeps going over and over and over. And I'm pretty sure as long as human civilization exists, I don't think it will ever go away logically or like generally. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the S4E3, and today we're talking about the most infamous ways of leaving somebody in texting or in talking. Ghosting. Now, the most unpleasant way of saying goodbye to you is not saying anything at all in general. So there have been a lot of people, and there will be a lot of people who are going to experience this phenomena that has been existing in texting game a long time ago. Now, the time hasn't changed that much in general when you overstep the prism and you kind of look back and look now as I'm making this video is upside down, because the texting game and the world in general has been upside down like this for a very long time. And now with the ghosting, people have been asking themselves, what is the core reason of somebody ghosting you? Now the reasons can be like X, Y, Z, whatever the fuck, but the point is that the main course of this video is the phrase "don't take it personally", because when it comes to the ghosting, it's a weaker way of saying goodbye, and the other side usually, statistically, but usually they kind of think that it's not worth their time with you and they don't want to explain themselves for whichever reason, and it's a really bitter feeling, and it's a very like having a rock in your sneakers or in your shoe or in your heels, and you're kind of pissed off as fuck because the other side has not made it any effort to explain to you why they stopped texting you or why they stopped, responding or whatever. Now, to this day, as I mentioned, as I'm making this video, S4E3, Blade Runner 2147, Mr. Cat, Mr. Heller, nice to meet you. The point is that in this case, the context, ghosting itself, it's a response of a how should I explain, weaker person, or they either are afraid of your game or they were afraid of you not backing down from your attitudes and principles, or the infamous not worth their time. What do I mean by that? Is that a lot of people, when it comes to the ghosting itself, you have to understand that they are doing XYZ things the same way you are doing XYZ things, but their XYZ does not align with your XYZ. So the major reasons of the ghosting can be so many things. Either they have to do something else, or, I'm not going to go with this bullshit, they forgot to text even though they were texting you the day before or whatever. Now, ghosting does not happen all of a sudden and randomly, out of nowhere, without any reason or explanation. Ghosting is a build-up way for somebody to leave, and I'm not saying I know if there are any signs, but the main sign is when they need the longer to respond to you. Now, I'm not talking about the fucking obligations, man. Fuck the obligation, that's not part of the equation. The point is that the ghosting appears in a very small foreshadowing or cliffhanger signs that sometimes not catchable via eye or via texting. Is for example, when you think everything is going normally and nothing is out of the ordinary or suspicious, anything in that matter in such context, and all of a sudden the next day or after a couple of days or weeks they are no longer there, or you see the gray picture. Now the problem is that those people will probably never explain to you why they left you, what was the main reason or what was the cause, and you're gonna keep guessing. But you have to do what has been the theme channel of my YouTube channel, Blade Runner 2147. Move on. Because it's I know it's going to eat you alive up inside, and you're gonna probably wonder why, but sometimes not getting the reason why is sometimes the best outcome, and I'll explain why. As you're trying to waste time and nerves and emotions on, let's say, male, female, there are only two genders, person, from their side why they doxed you or ghosted you, and that theme, that trope is going to be in your life as you're watching this video. If you're in high school, from high school until they bury you in your grave, you're going to have that topic of people ghosting you. Why did they did that? I have no fucking idea, man. I've tried to figure out that by myself, and to this day I haven't gotten an answer, and probably I don't know, man, but it doesn't matter. So as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, don't fuck it, bro. Take it personally. This has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them. Why? Because if they wanted to do the honorable thing, which not too many people in the texting world will do, an honorable game is to tell you in whichever fuckable DM, no, I don't give a fuck. They tell you, look, man, girl, I have been feeling like this for a while. We are not aligning, and I just need some time off so I can go on and restart myself, whatever the fuck. At least a reason, an explanation, a reasonable something. But they don't do that. They just ghost you. Now, the reasons have been among it falls down in the category of the conspiracy theories on why somebody ghosts you. But the main reason, for my humble 2 cents on the internet, is they're not that into you, or they have seen something, because we tend to forget when it comes to other people that some people, not all people, some people have the intuition to see something in you, good or bad, long before you can actually realize that, and they will probably never tell you that, why they ghosted you. So the main reasons for ghosting, it can be a lot of reasons. So the main reason can be they got tired of you. They get tired of something else, and unfortunately it's always the fuckable thing. It's some always period of their lives in which they have to, act like that, and just maybe you're not the only person they ghosted. They maybe have ghosted somebody like 2, 3, 4, 5 persons. Now, I'm not saying I have that facts or statistics, but it's very plausible and possible. What you shouldn't do is go to a gym, go to a restaurant, go to any food joint and take it personally and overthink why that had happened. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe God is telling you that this person is not for you, because if they didn't ghost you and continue texting you, you would have fallen into some very bad relationship or into a very bad walking on eggshell people. So it tend to be, as I mentioned just a few seconds ago, my humble 2 cents on the internet, maybe the people who ghost you are people who prefer to be walked around them on eggshells instead of being taking up the insult or like a roast. What I'm saying is that those sensitive people should never be in your environment, because they're just a fucking waste of time, because they themselves probably, let's say, even if they're in their early, mid and late 20s, even in the late mid 30s, doesn't fucking matter, man. They will always be like that, walking around eggshells, because they need a reality check to tell them that the world is not made, or this life has not been made so we can have and surround ourselves with people who need to walk around eggshells. So those are type of people that are just going to take away your vibe, your energy. They are energetic vampires. They're going to take away your joy because they are not happy themselves. And you already know this story. I've heard it on Instagram and TikTok so many fucking times. But the reasons for ghosting is, if you're trying to figure out why, maybe you should just leave it. My humble suggestions: just leave it like a couple of weeks. Maybe ghosting is temporary and they get back to you and explain what happened to them. Because usually in Sorabendia, people love to say when they go like that, like great picture, or they do the ghosting, some chaos had entered their lives. I have no fucking idea what they mean by chaos. No fucking idea. And by that chaos, I mean something or someone entered their life. They put themselves into those faggot ass drama, fucking waste of time, and they didn't want to implement you. As I mentioned, I have no idea, maybe I'm guessing. But the point is that ghosting itself, it's a weak form of reply. So usually if they are refusing to explain, let's just give them a couple of weeks, man. Let's say you got ghosted in mid-February. And it has been like, now it's 1st of April, Randy Orton's birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Randall Keith Orton. RKO. Anyway, let's say they ghosted you mid-February. You could do maybe like their game and just wait until next month and text them. Let's say it doesn't have to be like literally May 1st, or it can be any May in the first days of May, and ask, hey man, girl, whatever the fuck, I know we haven't talked in a while, so is everything okay? If you want to reply, sure. If not, stay safe or whatever the fuck. The point is, you have to see and let them. The main course of action is to let them. If they want to ghost you, fuck it, do it. But don't take it personal. It's because most of the time when it comes to ghosting itself, this has nothing to do with you. It's usually, you can have like a bad luck, unfortunately, and you can put the red marker and circle down the world, unfortunately. Sometimes people themselves put in those some really weird time periods in which they cannot make friends or like find a new job, and they're stuck in between in some purgatory, whatever, gray purgatory, whatever the fuck. I'm not justifying ghosting. All I'm saying is that transparency would have been so much simpler in this world or any world before in general. I'm saying is that it's better to be transparent and not waste people's time instead of you pretending to be working for Gotham Police Department and saying, you know, stuff like that. But when it comes to ghosting and when they stop responding, so that's where you should, it's a God sign or sign from them themselves. That means you, personally, as Joe Pesci said in Casino to Robert De Niro, personally, you should turn around and walk away from them, from their life, from their world, and focus on your hobbies, on your life, on your improvement. And then, after a couple of months, maybe, just maybe, like, I don't know, I'm using my humble 2 cents for this shit, they will come back to your life. I'm saying maybe, so I don't have all the information. I'm saying maybe they do, maybe they don't. Doesn't fucking matter. But usually it tends to be from an empiristic point of view in life. When you start doing shit and you start not noticing them, they tend to resurrect from their Egyptian tombs or graves and they start going back in your life. I'm not saying that's often. It can happen. Maybe from time to time, sometimes, or seldom. It fucking depends from person to person, so I cannot tell you for all people what the fuck is going on. But the problem is that ghosting, it can piss you off really because you're investing your time, energy, and words and semantics and whatever the fuck, which language you got ghosted on. You shouldn't take it personally. You should just move on with your life, start doing stuff and shit. And when you start moving and making waves and making manifestations and abundances, that's where they appear for like a final test where you can just decide if you want to let them in, back in your fold like a vampire, or you're just going to tell them, no, I'm not interested, you had your chance, go fuck yourself. Those type of attitudes actually they can see from their side when it comes to ghosting. You can see if they meant it seriously or not, because usually in Sorabendia, when people ghost you, they've been planning it for a while and they just chose this day or any other day to just leave, man. But departure can be actually, from statistically speaking, from what I've seen on Instagram and TikTok, people explaining the ghosting phase from some people or girl they liked and they stopped responding. You should see that ghosting itself is a very much 90+% blessing in disguise, because now you can focus on yourself and you can do whatever the fuck you stop doing because of that XYZ person. You should just focus on yourself and keep doing your thing. Eventually, maybe not, maybe yes, eventually they might come around and ask you if they want to play around too. Now, but keep this in mind with the disclaimer. A heavy red letter fucking disclaimer. Point is that doesn't mean they won't ghost you again. So people who have ghosted you the first time, there is a probability, there is like a chance they will ghost you for the second time and maybe the third time. It can happen. So don't think for a single solitary second they won't ghost you the second time. It can happen. Don't write it off because they return. It can happen. So keep like a question mark or like a fuss note or like a star, asterisk, whatever the fuck. You get the picture. The point is that if they return, so you have to keep them like an asterisk above them, because it can happen. I just mentioned a few seconds ago, they might walk away again if they notice that they can do that shit. But if they return, I'll give you a scenario. So let's say return after X days, months, not a year, X days, months. You tell them very briefly if they return. Look, man, girl, I know people have a lot of blah blah and the diplomacy bullshit faggotry. But man, don't ghost me ever again without explanation or we will stop talking and you can find somebody else. Give them like a warning shot in the air so they know what you're about. Because if you let it slide, if you let it happen, there is, as I mentioned, it can happen again. So you tell them, don't ghost me, my G. Just fucking tell me what's going on, if I can help you or not. Or you don't want me to help you. That's fucking fine. That's legit. But don't waste time emotionally to figure out, to wrap it up around your brain, to over fucking think if they will appear in your life or not. They have to be constant. And you have to reality check your friends from time to time who are not either respecting you or they're wasting your time. So usually bring to the table friends who want to see you succeed, who want to see you rich as fuck, dirty rich as fuck, so you can eat together, enjoy together, travel together, stuff like that. That's the core of friendship. Don't fucking waste time with people who have nothing to offer, man. They're just there to waste your energy and time. Fucking avoid them like the bubonic plague in 1347. The point is that when it comes to the ghosting itself, that trend will, unfortunately, as I mentioned at the beginning, appear in this life or any other lives, forms of lives in human civilization, because humans can be severely retarded and moronic. Don't take it personally, figure out as a sign from God, and where you can say like, this cocksucker left me on red and won't respond anymore. Oh well, time to move on with my life. And they might, as I mentioned, might yes, might not. Nobody fucking knows. It's like a market in New York, like a New York market. It crashed up and down, fugazi. It's on a fairy tree, doesn't fucking exist. That's the point of ghosting. Ghosting is never personal. Ghosting is when they realize for themselves something XYZ that nothing to do with you. So just chill the fuck out, cut some food, play some music, enjoy in the vibe itself. But remember, fucking ghosting is never personal. It's usually when they trip the fuck out of something of their goddamn mind, and they like to say whatever they say to themselves. But don't waste time, because they will either, if you push them, they will either walk away more from you. But when you give them time to respond or to return, if they return, remind them. The first topic after they return from the dead or from their Egyptian Ramses tombs, tell them, look man, girl, you've ghosted me once. One more time and we are fucking through. Remind them what they had done. Don't let it slide. Don't let slide disrespect like that. So stand up for yourself in whichever feeling that you're currently going through as you're watching my video. You should never give a fuck about emotions if something has happened to you first. If they have offended you, if they have disrespected you, don't fuck it, let it slide. Enter their DM, hey bro, what the fuck was that faggot shit about? And remind them, don't fucking do that ever again, or you and I are gonna have a fucking problem. A very big fucking problem. Remind them that disrespect is in this century. With a lot of people talking shit, man, remind them that disrespect is not on your table and nobody should do that to you as well. Keep your integrity, keep your Serbian innate spite, motherfucker. Keep it. And don't let cocksuckers tell you otherwise. Fuck them. You have to stand up for yourself and have some attitude, have some integrity, have some fucking balls to stand up for yourself and own up for yourself. Don't be like a rug for people to step over, because people, when they fucking realize they can do, they will fucking do that to you over and over without any singular fucking apology. Don't fucking do that to them. Tell them they can go fuck themselves. Show some attitude. Yes, they're going to hate you, but at least they will respect you for standing up for yourself. That when you stop talking to some people, eventually they're going to say, yeah man, he did that, he's a piece of shit, he's a retard, but at least he stood up for something. Because the American when you stand up for something, but if you don't stand up for something, you're gonna fall for everything. And those people will run you over like a rug, like a mug, like an NPC person. And that, for your potential as a youth, should never be allowed in your discourse, in your social circles. Show people what you're made of. Show people that they should be afraid of you when you lose your shit. Not everything has to be like this faggotry diplomacy, man. Not everything in life is diplomacy. Sometimes, as H.L. Mencken said, you need to hoist the black flag roll up your sleeves and start slitting throats. Because sometimes in life that's the only way where people will understand that you're made up by your stand and admiration and principles. Because this country where I'm from, in fucking Serbia, in Sorabendia, has been built on principles, and we died by principles. And there is no other way for us. It's either principles or it's just collective death. And I don't accept collective death and defeatism and that faggot shit. Not a fucking chance. We have to stand up and be united. If Serbs are not fucking united, they're going to fucking kill us one by one until there is nobody left by Potorice to suck the cock of the Dark Lord. Remember our history every single fucking time that when we stood up, we had to fight back for our freedom, because in Serbia, in Sorabendia, freedom has always been fought for and never given on a singular silver fucking plate. Blade Runner 2147, Mr. Heller, Mr. Cat. Welcome to my fucking channel, and remember, if they ghost you, move on. Very simple and very unique. Until next time, have a great fucking weekend, and remember, become straight edge, fuck the system, disrupt the system, because Christ has always been and always will be